Yo, sorry, I'm running late. My apologies. I it's been a minute since I went live, and I feel like OBS likes to mess around with me whenever I decide to go live, and I haven't gone live in a minute. It like chooses when it wants to like not work correctly, and so there are some things that are kind of outstanding, things that I've been meaning to fix with like just kind of like mic software, stuff like that hasn't been quite where I like it to be for a few months now. And I'll listen back to some of the streams and I'll be like, oh man, like that don't sound right. Thank you, Yobi. Appreciate you, bro. Thank you. I actually need to share out my own stream again. Let everyone know I'm live. But Yobi, hope you're enjoying your Monday, sir. What in the? Can I just, stupid phone. All right. Yeah, Yobi. Hope you're enjoying your Monday, man. I'm certainly enjoying mine. It's been a decent day so far. I can't complain. Indeed, just cleaning up right now. Hey, that's what it's all about, man. Take the time. I was doing a little bit of cleaning up as well. I was working super early in the morning because there was some stuff that popped off with work I had to take care of. So I started working really early this morning. And then after I got done working, I took care of the kids and stuff. And then, just like house things that like the wife asked me to handle today. I got that stuff out of the way so that when I do conference calls later on, there's going to be no issues whatsoever. What's up, Ice Queen? Y'all may be wondering like, hey, you doing lunchtime with SloMo on the DPS channel and not the SloMo Backslap channel. And that wasn't an accident. I didn't go live on the wrong channel by accident, which, you couldn't put that past me. I would definitely do something like that. But I didn't. I went live on purpose on the DPS channel because I'm trying to test something out here. I think, long story short, like I was looking at like the changes I made to my channel, and I'm really enjoying the growth with the channel. The views with the First Ascendant have been good. The feedback's been good. I'm enjoying the game. I like making content for it. I can't wait to start making more content for Dragon Age Veilguard. It's going the way I anticipated and hoped it would. But then like I know how fickle people are when it comes to like new subscribers to a new channel and whatnot. And so like if people subscribe to me on my channel for specific content, then like I do. Lunchtime with SloMo isn't about the First Ascendant and Dragon Age. Like I may talk about both of those games, but it ain't gonna be the only thing I talk about. It's gonna be a lot of the stuff we're gonna be talking about in the things in the gaming community and gaming news, yada yada yada. And that's really more kind of along the lines of what we do on DPS. And so I'm not saying this is where Lunchtime with SloMo will permanently be. I'm just saying that this is like, I'm just kind of testing this out. And, if this kind of drives more people to subscribe to the DPS channel, as well as my channel, then so be it. If it turns out this works better as far as getting more content onto the DPS channel as well, another positive there. We'll see how it goes, but I just wanted to see how it goes today, and we'll be agile with it and move and motivate and move and motivate. What am I talking about? We'll figure out if it works, if it doesn't work and stuff. Homie One Kenobi, what's up, Mrs.? Was your job impacted by the crowd strike outage? Not really, because I can't talk. So I can't talk about what a lot of the stuff I do at work, so I can't get into details. But I'll just say that I wasn't really impacted by CrowdStrike. There was a few things that were impacted, but it wasn't like, our entire work day is a bust and we're SOL. No, we were actually mostly pretty good. We were pretty good with that. Appreciate you asking though. What are we gonna talk about today? I got, like the title of today's episode is Victory Lap. You know how you ever see like, someone win a like a, I mean, I don't watch NASCAR. I guess they do this in NASCAR. I know I've seen track and field people do this. I used to run track in high school. I was fast, but I wasn't that fast. So I ain't never get a chance to do this. But you see kind of Olympics, people win and they get their like their country's flag, and then they go just do a little jog across the track waving at everybody with the flag draped around the shoulders. You ever see in NASCAR when a dude wins and then he starts just doing spinning out and just driving all over the field, messing up the grass, just going crazy, right? That's a victory lap. Jason says, I'm guessing a lot of Mac users at your job. No, we use Windows. It's just that we don't really rock with automatic updates, and we do not allow anything into our work environments that we haven't tested ourselves yet. Let's just say it like that. So we weren't really affected by things that happened overnight. Anyway, I gotta do a little bit of victory lap, because and it's not, I'm not like I'm happy or anything that the Halo TV show is canceled. It's more of a I told you so. Like from the very start, I did not like the way the show looked. I didn't like the things that 343 was saying. I didn't like the things that Paramount was saying. And I just kind of felt like this was not what a lot of people wanted from Halo. The people who actually you would anticipate would be the people who would want to watch the show. Sure, Paramount wanted non-gaming people, which is they're more non-gamers than gamers, to watch the show. But like when you're making something based off of a established IP, there's a reason why you're using an established IP. It's because people know it and they want to see it. And the people who want to see it, you need to make something that they actually want to see. And what I saw from the Halo TV show from the very start wasn't anything that, as a Halo fan, I was very impressed with. And you got the people that capped, and the people that made a big deal about the helmet, which wasn't a big deal to begin with. Sure, the helmet, like, it's not that he took the helmet off, it's just that it wasn't at all important to keep it on. Even to the degree that, like, in the first season, he's going out on planets that he was unfamiliar with and that he didn't know whether there'll be enemies there, with no gun, and just taking his helmet off without actually checking the surroundings. Like, just very non-soldier like behavior. It was bad. It was a bad season. And although I think the second season was better, I think it just had better writers, but didn't quite really do enough to really change how people really felt about the series and the TV series overall. If you think about like the first season, so this is also an issue with Paramount, right? Where Paramount is I don't know what this was. Someone trying to jump in here? That was weird. I'm hearing the Discord sound. where Paramount was spending actually more money than they spend on other TV shows, but in comparison to what big networks like Amazon with Prime Video do, HBO with HBO and HBO Max, Netflix, they were spending peanuts compared to them. Gregor says never wore a helmet or a condom on the show. Exactly. You know, he out here having sex with the enemy. I'm just like, what is happening here? Who is this guy? He ain't the Master Chief. He ain't my Master Chief. You know, and just Paramount was always, I think, the wrong network for this kind of show. Like, this is a sci-fi show where you got space battles. Like the actual material depicts space battles, depicts a very high-tech looking armor for your protagonist, very like bombastic looking environments, aliens that are huge in comparison to humans, all these various different things. You're going to have a extensive CG budget here, yet you spent less money per episode than The Last of Us with HBO, a very grounded TV show where, you know, essentially like they're just wearing bummy clothes because it's a zombie apocalypse and just walking the wilderness, yet they spent more money than you. Paramount was the wrong move. But because, and I've seen this before, and I know this is how these networks work because I used to watch the CW. And I used to watch the CW superhero shows, which of course you're dealing with superheroes with powers and stuff like that. You're going to be dealing with people that, like, you know, situation scenes where you're going to need to use special effects. And dealing and watching the CW for years, I know when a network is trying to cut corners. I know when a network is like, nah, you know, we may have brought Kid Flash onto the Legends of Tomorrow, but we ain't got the budget for Kid Flash, you know, lightning when he runs and he uses his speed. So what we're going to do is that every time there's a fight, we're going to find a way to knock him out of the fight, or we're going to find a way to have him not be here so that the fight doesn't have to have him involved in it. They get creative in how they write things so that they don't have to depict things that they can't afford to depict. And that's what they did in season 2 of Halo. By the 3rd episode, they ain't got no armor. They found a creative way to have the Halo TV show and have what they thought would be a legitimate excuse for the Spartans to not have their armor. But the long and short of it is that we're looking at Spartans with no armor. We're looking at Spartans that should not be handling massive groups of Sangeli elites with no armor. What's the purpose of having armor if you out here handling whole squads with no armor? It's stupid. So it's just that, and the way it ended, just yeah, it needed to end. And I don't think, like, I know like the showrunners are trying to shop it around the other networks. I don't think anyone else is going to pick it up, because these other networks, the difference between, say, like Cobra Kai going from YouTube to Netflix is that Cobra Kai was on a failing, I wouldn't say YouTube not necessarily failing, right? But this is around the time period where YouTube was trying to be like Netflix. So they were creating their own reality TV shows that were terrible. They were creating their own like produced content and they had some cool ideas. It's just the execution wasn't great. Like they actually made a TV show. Remember the movie Jumper? They made a TV show that was like a sequel to the movie Jumper, and it was about the guy from Jumper, Hayden, whatever his name is, Christensen. His daughter inherited his power, and like the TV show was about, it was actually not a bad TV show. Like they had that, they had Cobra Kai, but like overall, YouTube/Google was spending a ton of money on these shows and not getting a very good return. And so they just stopped doing all kinds of content like that, period. And all their shows got canceled. But Netflix went and saved Cobra Kai. But Cobra Kai was the best show with the best views and the best and the most overall sentiment and reaction from people that saying they loved it and they hated to see that it was canceled. They couldn't wait to watch more after 2 seasons. Of course, it was a no-brainer for Netflix to pick that up. Arrested Development, like they picked that up. Prime picked up, what was the show that was on Sci-Fi? Damn it. The Expanse. Great show. But Sci-Fi's cheap. So Sci-Fi did what they normally do. After 3 seasons, they dropped it. Prime picked that up. The difference here is that nobody thought Cobra Kai or The Expanse sucked or was bad or had a bad season. But that's how people feel about Halo TV show. That's why it's not getting picked up. I don't know what world or reality that people are living in where they think that it's going to get picked up. For who? For what? Why? Who was going to take that on? You already in a position where you're looked as bad goods. Not the IP Halo, but specifically the Halo TV show is looked at like it ain't good. So even if you pick it up, let's say Netflix picks it up, and then Netflix puts it on Netflix, then they're gonna give it a budget that is responsible. A budget that works for the kind of show that it is. Let's say they make some smart decisions and they cut like McKee, that terrible character that they brought back for no stupid reason whatsoever. They cut all the dumb nonsense. They actually make it a good Halo TV show. There's a huge chance that no one watches it anyway because they still thinking about the fact that, oh, that's that sorry Halo TV show that was on Paramount. So it's not coming back. And the best they could do is do a cool off period, like maybe like 5 years, like kind of let it get out of the zeitgeist, get it out of people's minds. People ain't really thinking about it like that no more. And then come back with a completely different reboot. Definitely do a new Master Chief, because I don't like the actor that plays him. I never did. I don't think he's a good Master Chief. I think he sucks, and I think he's part of the problem of having all these ideas about what Master Chief should be, and he ain't never played the games. Neither of the showrunners ever played the game. So what do you like? You don't play the games, you didn't read the books, but you gonna make a TV show about it. Make it make sense. Typical Hollywood hubris, and I'm not here for it. But I do think that like there isn't. I know a lot of people have this idea that like there's just one way to do it. There's just one way to do an adaptation of a video game into a movie or TV series, and I don't think that's necessarily true. It just has to be of quality. You could go, depending on it also depends on the series, right? So like for Fallout, for example, because you create your own character often, and the way the stories in the games are set up is really about making sure that the world is accurate and not necessarily a specific character. And so they were able to have a little bit more freedom with Fallout than they would with Halo, which is, all the games are solely based upon the Master Chief with his sidekick Cortana. It's very different. But you look at something like Cyberpunk Edge Runners, which is excellent, and even though the game is based upon the main character, the mercenary V, and by some people's like thought process, in order to do a successful TV show, you need to just depict the game and just go through the story beats of Cyberpunk in order to have a successful TV show, but that's not the case. Look at Edge Runners. They went a year prior to V becoming V. And they had a completely different protagonist in David Martinez with a whole different crew. And yes, some of the characters, because it's only a year earlier, some of the people that you see in the game are there, but they use the same music, it's the same world, it is canon to the game. And so that was perfect, because what it did was you created new characters, you allowed the showrunners of it to show their flex their creativity, create their own characters. And then CDPR smartly incorporated some of that loosely into the game, not so much that it takes over the game, but enough to kind of like, okay, well, you know, we're showing how all of this stuff is connected. There's continuity here. But the showrunners of Edge Runners actually made sure that everything that they were doing was accurate to the world. That's what people care about, being accurate to the world. Freaking Halo had the hunters outside their armor. They're just like eels, kind of like a bunch of eels all connected together. Instead of just depicting the hunters as they are, they made them work in a way in the TV show where the physiology of the alien species does not work that way. And it's just like, why do that? Just to have a cool scene? You completely undo the entire like biology of that entire race just to have a cool scene? Just dumb decisions. And like, that's unnecessary. You want to create your own characters, and maybe that's what they should. They should have just never had the Master Chief in there in the first place. Don't have the Master Chief in there. Instead of having the Master Chief in there, you have I'm thinking about instead of having the Master Chief in there, you create your own Spartan, a completely different character, with a completely different team, write your own story, just a part of the universe. Just make it canon to the universe, and then let 343 like make some kind of audio log talking about, you know, them being in the game or something. I don't know. You know, like figure it out. But like, it's unnecessary for them to make wholesale changes to the entire universe just because they want to do a scene. You know, it's silly. Jason says, ironically, the sci-fi seasons of The Expanse were the best ones. You think so? Kay says, Halo was strange. Hey, look, I'm not saying I'm gonna play it, but if you do a Halo is Strange kind of TV show, you know, Halo Dayton Evolved, you know, you do a little Life is Strange, but you know, hey, look, you want to get these young kids into Halo, you put some drama in there, you put some love triangles in there. You know, you have Chief trying to decide between whether he wants to get with Kelly or he wants to get with Jill. That's gonna get them really excited. I'm just saying, you know, you want to get the young kids, you either make a battle royale or you make it a dating sim. It's gonna be one or the other, okay? Man, but no, what's up, Kay? How's it going, man? No, I think the show, as I said, the show needs to take a break. If you look at all the successful shows, the ones that were done well, they always kept to they kept to the canon of the universe, whether they decided to focus on the main character or not. The universe is consistent. Cyberpunk Edge Runners, Arcane with League of Legends. The universe is consistent. Here's an example of a bad one. Me being a Dragon Age fan. Netflix did a Dragon Age animated show. It sucked. It is so bad. It is horrific. It is one of the worst video game adaptations to different media I've ever seen. Massive Dragon Age fan here. Know the lore like the back of my hand. I could barely make it through the first episode. There's so much stuff that is just so not right with the way they did certain cultures like the Canary, with the way they had certain characters and their occupations and what they do done wrong. It was so frustrating to me. And I'm not mad because they got like Alistar in the show and he doesn't talk the way he talks in the game. No, none of the characters from the game are in the show. But the characters that they had were, one, not interesting, and two, they got the whole world of Thetis wrong. That's really where people get upset about. Like, we don't really care that you change little things here and there, especially if it's like a Thanos situation where you got Thanos out here in the comic for the Infinity Gauntlet out here destroying the entire half the universe, the entire life everywhere to impress death. It was stupid. It's a stupid idea. But then, they gave him kind of like the logic don't really work, but whatever. They gave him a whole nother, reason to do it, and at least it kind of works a little bit better than what they came up with in the comics. Because not every ideas from the source material was great ideas. Some things need to be kind of, tweaked here and there. But when things don't need to be tweaked, but you tweaking it anyway, no, you really tweaking because you messing stuff up for no reason. What's up, Mike? What's up, Forte? So that would be truly disrespectful to Halo. You will feel that way, Forte. But guess who won't? Your daughter won't feel that way. Your daughter will be playing the hell out of that. And you'd love it. You love that she would be playing it. That is. Anyway, Halo TV show. It's done. It ain't coming back. I know y'all think it might be a shot. No, it's no shot. It's not coming back. It's done. It's donezy. It's donezo. It's over. Fini. It's a wrap. We might see Halo again in maybe like 5 years from now, maybe. Or maybe, Microsoft takes their, the success of Fallout, works with Amazon. I don't think they can get Amazon to sign off on Halo, take all that good momentum from Fallout and then squander it with a show that, like, even if you do it well, there'll be a lot of people who probably just like, I ain't really rocking with that. Because I know about that show and it's the same show from Paramount in his ass, so but maybe, Amazon could get with them for other, because like Microsoft owns a metric ton of IP. There's a lot of stuff to work with. Hey, Perfect Dark, you about to drop a Perfect Dark game. What if you did like a Perfect Dark TV show? You never know. Or a movie. Who knows? But, Amazon got the money and they ain't afraid to use it when it comes to adapting these kind of things and making sure it gets the appropriate budget. So, anywho, let's move on. Let's talk about this game that I've been showing this entire time. If you're not aware, this is gameplay from Concord. I played it in the closed beta because on PlayStation, because I have PS Plus Essential. Initially, I was not supposed to be able to do that, because initially it was only supposed to be available for anyone who had pre-ordered the game, but since only a small number of people pre-ordered the game, Sony decided to open that up on PlayStation to PS Plus, which to me says they may be amenable to putting this game on PS Plus in general. They did that with Destruction All-Stars. This game looks like, as far as, and I would say this is probably a better game than the Destruction All-Stars. I've never played Destruction All-Stars, so I can't really say for certain, but my interest in this one is higher than Destruction All-Stars was. But I would say with the numbers that are as low as they are on Steam, we don't know what those numbers are on PlayStation, but we know the pre-order numbers couldn't have been high for them to put it in PS Plus. That said, it wouldn't surprise me at all if this game ends up in PS Plus before it launches next month. But you know, I've talked about my feelings on the game, and hold on, I forgot to write something here to me. We live, come on through. I think Concord is a decent hero shooter, but it's nothing that's it's nothing that breaks the mold, if that makes sense. It's nothing that's going to draw eyes away from other hero shooters. I think the hero shooter genre is it's got a very small, not small, it's not a small demographic, but it's not a growing demographic. I think there are people who like hero shooters and they're down with those, but like it's not like where they're getting more and more people into it the way you see like a Fortnite, Battle Royales, those kind of games. Hero shooters don't do that. There's a lot of teamwork that has to come into hero shooters. There's a lot of having to learn characters, master a character. That takes time. People don't have that kind of patience all the time no more. So I don't really see that happening often. But some things that I saw with this one were, hold on a second. Jason says, what's your opinion on the character designs? That the characters look like background characters for they don't, that's perfect. Background characters for Guardians of the Galaxy. You know, when you go to nowhere, you know, the big head, and like you're just walking around as Star-Lord or Gamora, and then in the background is Lennox, you know, the green dude, the main guy, you know, he's just in the background, just, you know, drinking a beer at the bar. That's what they look like. Those are the kind of characters they look like, you know. They look like extras in a Guardians of the Galaxy movie. None of them look very interesting. That's one of the things that I've always said. If you guys listen to me all the time when I talk about hero shooters are a very interesting genre, because the ones that are successful for things that don't really pertain to the gameplay. They are successful because they're actually doing things that like people don't openly admit to. They have characters that look sexy, and what people do in the privacy of their own home, I don't care for. But you look, people don't play Widowmaker on Overwatch and Tracer because they think their gameplay's awesome. You know, it's more than that. It's way more than that. What's up, Ice Queen? Kay says, I don't generally play hero shooters, but I played a few of these betas. I like Fragpunk more than Concord. I actually like Concord more than Fragpunk. Fragpunk, and Kay, if you like Fragpunk, you probably really like Valorant, because Fragpunk is like a worser playing version of Valorant with a card system. Because it plays exactly like Valorant, down to the menus, down to everything. It's Valorant, which is, you know, hey, I inspiration. Marvel Rivals plays just like Overwatch. I'm not. The First Descendant plays is entire game design, systems and everything is based off of Warframe. I don't mind, as long as you do it good and it's fun. I don't care. But that the fact that I brought up the first descendant is pretty interesting because, like, you know, only a character with her cheeks hanging out the way Bunny's cheeks are hanging out would make someone spend $100 on a skin. But that's, you would think, ain't nobody spending $100 on some digital cheeks. But guess what people doing? Go log into the first descendant right now and see how many Bunny outfits you see with her booty cheeks hanging out. The person who got that spent $100. Every time you see it, just think about that. The person who has that, they spent $100 on that. Okay, just I like the car system and how crazy it could make the rounds different. I can see how Twitch could get the crowds to choose car. Hey, you know, like, yeah, you know, it's got its opportunity. It's not coming out. I think Frappunk's not coming out until next year. So there's a lot of time for it to kind of fix some of the issues that I had with it. Unlike Concord that's coming out in a month, they don't really have a lot of time to fix that stuff. There's no time at all really to fix those things. No Erodimus, I did not spend that $100. If I get Ultimate Bunny, because this is Bunny, because like you get Bunny in First Descendant pretty easily. It's like the first character Descendant you can unlock. And so I unlocked her with no problem. The Ultimate Bunny, which is like a different version of her, you can unlock that too, but it's a grind to get that. I'm grinding because I ain't spending $100 on some digital cheeks, you know, no sir. But back to hero shooters. It's important to have characters that people feel are either one, sexy, or two, cool. If your character looks cool and looks dope, like that in Overwatch, they got this guy, I can't remember his name. He's got like 2 pistols, and he like goes in and out of like smoke and shadows, and he just shoots these dual pistols. Man, I can't play this game for like months, and I can't remember this guy's name. I remember him in Soldier 76. 2 dope looking characters, and I used the Soldier 76 skin of him before he had his like face misconfiguring accident. Like, that's the skin I used to use. Like, this is what people think about Reaper. Thank you, Big Mike. Cool looking characters. There is no Reaper in Concord. Not in how he plays, and how dope he looks. There's just no one like that. And so that's going to play into part where the people play the game. And so when you think about the fact that people won't even try this game, and like I said, it's a decent hero shooter. It's not great. It's not terrible either. Like, I don't think it's a terrible game at all. I think the people who think it's terrible, they generally really don't like hero shooters like that. So it's no shocker. But the people really, I think, aren't giving this game a shot because they just don't like the way the characters look. Bleeding Edge didn't get a shot. That was a decent hero shooter. Bleeding Edge didn't get a shot because people didn't like the way the characters looked. They were ugly, hideous characters. And I don't understand why like companies will greenlight a game, spend millions, putting millions of dollars in development and marketing and all this other stuff, and they don't know the basics of why people play hero shooters. Slockro says, have you played Smite? I have not. Erodimus says Bleeding Edge was slow moving as well. Yes. And guess what, Erodimus? And yeah, you probably already know this. Ninja Theory did not listen to the community. I was in the closed alpha for Bleeding Edge. The very first time they let anybody play the game, I was there day one waiting for the minutes to count down so I can play it. My feedback to them, you need more modes, more maps, more characters, and you need to speed them up like 1.5% or something, like 1.5 times or something like that. You need to speed these characters up. They move too slowly, especially for the size of the map. You would have like those control point kind of mode where it's like you gotta hold A, B, and C, and then like somebody would take C and you all the way at A, it take you forever to get the C. By the time you get the C, B and A have been taken. It's just like, yo, why do I move so slow? And they never addressed it. They never fixed it. And I'm like, that was everybody's feedback. Why do you do a closed anything, alpha, beta, any of that stuff, if you're not going to listen to what people telling you? Yo, your game moved too slow. What do you think I'm like, everybody who plays your game said your game moved too slow. Man, you know, that's just 10,000 people. That's not everyone who's going to play our game. Whoopsie, that was everyone that played that game. It's just like, what are you doing? Oh my gosh. Ryan says, Lee Ninja's moving as slow as Joe Biden. Oh man. Good grief. Well, the game is dead, so. Oh, okay, I didn't say that. Biden's not dead yet. Dead-ish. I mean, 85% of his body's dead, but okay, I need to shut up. I'm sorry. That was terrible. I shouldn't have said that. That was awful. Smite 2 closed beta out late August. I ain't played Smite 1, so. Taz, what's up, Taz? I need to talk to you, Taz, about how you abandoned me in Call of Duty. I absolutely abandoned me. I've been playing the game anyway. Playing it solo, because both Taz and Forte don't play Call of Duty no more. So I'm the only one playing by myself. Is what it is. Anyway, Taz says, main problem with Halo TV show is you can't turn on a single Halo game and relate to the show because there is not a single damn mission in all of Halo that you play without the helmets. Facts, though. Slugro says new arena shooters have no shot at being a success, sadly. Well, I mean, I'm not going to say that completely. I mean, technically, the Call of Duty multiplayer is arena shooting. It's got arena maps and, you know, first-person shooting, you know, elements. Not elements, it's first-person shooting, period. Halo, of course, has not had the same success that it had in the past, but I don't think, maybe I'm just biased, but I don't think that's something that's permanent. I think that's definitely something that they may need to make some changes to the core experience, but I think that they can be able to engender some interest from not just the Halo community if they do that. I think it takes some time though. Sure, the younger generation ain't really into arena shooters like that, but I don't think that, you know, you need to just cater specifically to just the younger generations. They have their games and they don't really come off them, really. So there's a whole huge opportunity there. Splitgate came out of nowhere a couple years ago, became super popular. Problem was 1047 Games, the developer of Splitgate, just did not have the resources or the organizational structure to really take advantage of the popularity they got. And so now I think it was very smart on their part to not try to turn Splitgate into the game that people wanted it to be, but instead to start a sequel to Splitgate that would do just that. That's supposed to come out next year. So I think that, you know, we'll see for certain, because, you know, at one point in time, Taz says we can call it today. I'm gonna hold you to that, sir. Hold you to that. At one point in time, I would say even just last year, people were saying, yo, hero shooters ain't it like that no more. You shouldn't make a hero shooter today, because everyone's on Overwatch or Valorant, and that's it. But then here we are, we got Concord out here, we got Fragpunk out here, we got Marvel Rivals, whose closed beta starts tomorrow. I finally got in. I'll be playing that tomorrow. Can't wait. You know, I think there's always an opportunity, especially if someone leaves open the opportunity to steal their players. If you're not listening to your community, if your community is saying, hey, we want this, this, and this, and you say, all right, that's great, and I'll shut up. Or if you lie to your community the way Blizzard did with Overwatch to the Overwatch community, and they said, hey, you know, we really want we want PvE, and you said, all right, look, we're gonna make a sequel to bring you PvE, and then you make the sequel and you don't give them no PvE, then they're gonna be like, yo, you lied, you liar, you lied to me, man. Hey, that ain't gonna work out, bro. It's not that, you know, you're gonna make it so you open the door for people to come in and steal, just straight steal your community, or at least some of them, you know. Put some, so we're talking about Call of Duty, put some COD on. No, I think arena shooters can still work. And look, and yeah, sure, we're gonna see this with Black Ops 6, right, when it comes out, because the majority of the people, I'd say probably 2/3 of the people that play Call of Duty, they're playing for Warzone. But there are still people like myself, like I get into COD matches all the time because there are a lot of people that still play Call of Duty for Call of Duty and for the multiplayer. And you'll get the people who, like, when they first launched Black Ops 6, the new season of Warzone is staggered. They don't put like the new season of Warzone out immediately. What they do is they let you do the campaign, and hey, look, you know, the incentive to playing the campaign is you get characters to work in multiplayer and Warzone. You get weapons that you wouldn't be able to get. You get all that stuff. So play the campaign, and they just release the campaign to kind of say, hey, look, I know you itching for new Call of Duty where, you know, you ain't got nothing else but this campaign. And then they do that with the multiplayer. And then they give you the big shebang that everybody's there for, Warzone. Well, not everybody. I'm not there for it. I don't play Warzone, but you know, the majority, you know, so like they kind of stagger it all to kind of force the Warzone kids to have to play all of it, which is smart. I think it's a smart business decision on their part. Aramis says, hate to say it, hero shooters should learn a lesson from fighting games. You need eye candy and adrenaline rush. You know, it is rare, extremely rare, that me and Artemis are in lockstep 100% agreement. But I am 100% agreeing with him about that. Eye candy, and adrenaline rush. Ain't nobody trying to see your pink hair, body positive characters. Don't nobody care. Hey, look, she's not real, so I don't need to care about her feelings. I don't want to look at you when I'm playing my games. Like, just I don't. So just don't be in my face with that. Like, no, it's a nada. Look, Concord, I don't really care about this stuff like that, but you know, I notice how, like, you know, I played in Concord, I probably level 10 with this character called Haymar, hey now, whatever her name is, right? Little Asian girl. And she's cool. I like her personality. She's very, like, you know, kind of like nonchalant. Decent character. I think she plays great. I like her movement. She's very vertical. She reminds me of a warlock in Destiny. So Haymar, Haley, whatever her name is, right? When you choose a character, it's her name and it's got she, her. It got her pronouns in it. And it's just like, she ain't a real person. Why we got her she's not real. We don't need her pronouns. I don't know if she's pansexual, and I don't give a shit. Just, I mean, what's her traversal like? What's her dodge mechanic like? That's what I care about. I don't give a damn if she dates girls, guys. A cactus? Give a fuck. Who gives a shit? What does her weapons do? What are her skills? What are y'all doing? But also I think, and shout out to Mooch, because I was on Crossfire, and I can't think it was Jez that brought this up, and it never hit me. I'm surprised I didn't even think about it. Concord doesn't have ultimates, and I can't think of a single hero shooter that does not have ultimate. That really shocked me. I was like, damn, I didn't even think about it. It doesn't have ultimate. What? That's wow. That they, like, I wonder, I haven't done the research on it, but I wonder, like, what the, like, Firewalk, what their explanation is for that. Because a lot of those guys come from Destiny, from Bungie, which has supers. That's not even a hero shooter. So, like, I wonder why they made the decision to not, because I mean, you're making a hero shooter. You had to think about, well, we gotta have ultimates because it's a hero shooter. Like Overwatch does it, Valorant does it. Technically, Rogue Company was a hero shooter. They had them. Everyone has ultimate. So like, I wonder why they chose not to do that. Rolanda says it got turned off from playing Overwatch because it didn't have a story mode. And look, hey, but you know what, Rhymes? You might love Concord because they got cutscenes coming every week, man. They got, I mean, you can't play it, but you can watch the boring cutscenes if you want. Jason says they're directing discourse. The devs want people on forums to use the right pronouns, and I'm just like, yo, like, I mean, what's more important than using the right pronouns is making sure that people are treating people with respect. There isn't any, like, racism or like toxic behavior happening in your forums. Like, that's more important than making sure that we're making sure that we're calling Linux they instead of he, because he doesn't look at himself as a he's a they. Like, no one cares, bro. Like, that stuff's just not important here. It's just, I don't think that's I don't think that works. What was I about to say? SloMo, your Splitgate 2 may be facing the same woke issue. Hey, I don't know, man. I kind of sort of saw the trailer. I wasn't really looking fully, like looking into it in detail. I'm gonna play Splitgate day one. Like, that's a given. I kind of miss it. Actually, every now and then I think about reinstalling it, but they don't really support it. There's no new content, so I uninstalled it the same way I uninstalled Rogue Company because there's no new content. But I know that they started taking the helmets off and trying to give the characters personalities. These are things that, like, 1047 Games just didn't have the budget to do. But I mean, like, but those guys seem very like and listening to the studio head and some of their lead directors and a lot of their live streams when the game first started to grow in popularity. I didn't really see like them discuss those kind of things, but of course none of their characters had any personality whatsoever, so I guess that wasn't anything to be brought up. But I think we'll see what happens. It's not going to deter me from playing the game. I'm actually contemplating buying Concord. I got some Steam credit, so I wouldn't be paying $40. I'd be paying something like $15 for it. For $15, I mean, from what I've played I've hit level 15 over just the past weekend. Level 10 with Hamer, level like Tito, whatever his name is, level 5 with him. Like, I put a decent amount of time was having fun with it, even though it was very few people on. So I don't know, I might pick it up. Like, I played Rogue Company for like 3 years with a community of that size. So You know I don't care about the size. I played Halo Infinite when it was like 50 people on there. It was just the same 50 people just playing the same matches and the same maps over and over again. We got to know each other very well, knew all of each other's tendencies. Like the size of the community don't matter to me. The size don't count or don't matter, as the women like to lie about. So I mean, I might pick it up, but like, yeah, I'm playing Splitgate 2. If it plays great, like me complaining about the pronoun thing is me just more like seeing that like the devs are kind of tone deaf to what gamers care about. When you put your focus in on that more than making sure that you're doing things that actually make the game successful, like just like, look, do all the pronouns you want. Just make sure you got a character with some big titties and a big ass in the game. And she wearing yoga pants. You're good. I mean, I'm not even saying anything that's like out of the ordinary. Just that would get you. You'll be set. I'm just saying, it would work. And everybody be making sure they are appreciative of her pronouns. You know what I'm saying? That's all you gotta do. Every game does it. I actually played some Cyberpunk last night. Again, for the 5 millionth time, I'm gonna beat the game, get every ending eventually. That's what I want to do. And so I kind of redid the ending that I already did. The ending that I got when I first played the game, back in 2020 when it was a broken, buggy mess and I couldn't really enjoy it. But I replayed that ending now that the game is fixed, so I could really get the full enjoyment of it. It's the ending where, if you got a male V in a relationship with Pan Am, aka Tristan Mays, who is gorgeous, good grief. Tristan Mays, look her up. I'm telling you, you're welcome, right? And really, enjoy the ending the way it was supposed to be. But like Pan Am, the character, like, I mean, there's a reason why CDPR went and just basically copied Tristan Mays and put her in the game. There's a reason for that, and it's not because they care about her pronoun. Just, Oh, man. Taz says still the same 50 people. Oh, man, Taz, you ain't gotta say that. It's true, though. Oh, did y'all see that knife? Hold on. Can I go back? Let me go back. I hit this dude with this knife. It is so... this part right here. Look. As soon as it came back out, knife straight to the forehead. He was mad. He was big mad. I wish y'all could hear that. Like he cussed me out. It was funny. It was so funny. All right, sorry, my bad. Yes, Yobi, Tristan Mays is drop dead gorgeous. Absolutely, I'll drink her bath water. I don't care. It's. I know I'm kidding. Mostly, kind of kidding. Anyway, look, moving on. What's up? What else is on the agenda? What else are we talking about here? PC gaming isn't for everyone, and so yes, she does stream on Twitch here and there. I do watch her from time to time. She's kind of like a casual gamer. She'll play stuff like Supermassive games, Dark Pictures kind of stuff. She's an actress, so she probably really likes the voice acting and the mocap acting from the actors and stuff. Like she's a cool person. But anyway, PC gaming is not for everybody, man. And I think that's so apparent. Shout out to Doc Dark, right? Because like this is really where it kind of made me think about this as like my final topic of the show. Doc Dark got into PC gaming about probably May, maybe April, something like that. Definitely sometime in the spring, sometime this year. and you know he was kind of not impressed with consoles in general and Xbox and the performance that he was getting in the games, and so he wanted to get on PC and enjoy that bigger performance. The play the games at their very best. And Doc had a video recently where he said that, you know, he's done with PC gaming, he's going back to consoles, and I think that I watched the full video, and I'll say that, like, I respect Doc's honesty and his honesty in all of this, and I really kind of like I got a little annoyed when I would see him have, like, he would pose questions that all newcomers to PC gaming would have on Twitter, and then you would see the typical dickhead loser who doesn't leave his basement and doesn't bathe kind of response was, oh, you don't know how to do that, oh, you're really just stupid, oh, you don't know that, you don't know how monitors work, like you don't know what the touch of a woman is, you piece of shit, shut the fuck up. Like, he asked the question, answer the question, and shut the fuck up and go somewhere else, right? Like, what the hell are you doing? And so I used to get annoyed when I would see stuff like that, people not like he asked the question in genuine question that, like, you know, it may seem basic to you, but he's new to this stuff, help him out. And so I do appreciate the people that did kind of help him out. And you know, I would see, whenever I would see it, I would, you know, leave some feedback and stuff like that for him. But like, I think with it, that's not really not really the issue, but for him, the crux of it all is that, so he had a issue. I think he said he was playing Forza Horizon 4, and the game, he's playing the game, and then like his PC kept shutting down. And so that he thought, like, well, I mean, like, what was wrong? You know, he said he had been used to troubleshooting stuff, you know, or adjusting settings and things like that. He had his statistics up, he had his MSI afterburner on, all that good stuff, and it's just like, couldn't figure it out. Dropped down the resolution down to 1080p, it's still crashing. And so when he looked up the troubleshooting for it, he just decided, you know what, this ain't for me. And I'm not going to speak for him, but I do wonder what he saw in the feedback on troubleshooting that specific issue, because I know exactly what the problem is on his PC, and it's not really. Yeah, so let me just say it like this, right? When you buy this is why I always recommend anybody who gets into PC gaming to just build your own PC. And I know it sounds daunting, and I know it sounds scary, but it's really not that hard. It's you don't have, I'm a network engineer, I'm an IT guy. Like, I've actually, before I was a network engineer, I was a network administrator. Before I was doing that, I mean, well, after around I was doing a NOC engineer, I was a systems administrator. I have taken apart and put together servers all the time, and I don't even need that experience to put a PC together. I know what you need to put a PC together: a YouTube video from a good tech tuber. That's all you need. And they'll walk you through it step by step, and they do a great job of it. You'll be fine. But I recommend people build their own PC, because once you build it, then you kind of understand how it all works. And then when people break down what an issue might be, or when you're trying to come up with your build and you figure out what works for you, you won't get these issues that you get with pre-builds. Because some pre-builds, some pre-builds, you may need to get it and replace a few parts. And I think that's what it really came down to for Dark, because the issue that he had is something that I created with my PC. So, like, when I first built a PC back in 2019, I had a 2070 Super as my GPU, and I had a 600 watt power supply in that rig. And when the 3070 came out, I went and got a 3070 Founders Edition. And that 3070, yes, Jason, PC part picker, but I even use, this is what I'm trying to break it down here. I use PC Power Picker to make sure that with that 3070 that I upgraded to, that I still could use the same power supply that I had. And when I put it in there, I slide it in there, PC Power Picker was like, you good to go. And I said, well, bet. But this is the problem. Now I'm playing Rogue Company, which is not a super demanding game. On my 3070, I was getting less than 50% GPU utilization. It's basically sleep. But then my game started crashing. My entire PC started crashing, just turning off. And I just didn't know, like, what the heck is going on? And so then my mind started thinking, I'm like, well, the most recent change I had was this GPU that I installed 2 weeks ago. Is it power? But that was it. You see, your games, PC Power Picker will tell you this will work, your power supply will be fine, but it can't take into account when a game, especially some games that are poorly optimized, will have these power spikes, and they'll draw more power. And your motherboard is trying to protect your equipment. Your motherboard will turn your PC off before it allows your PC's components to be damaged, because you're trying to draw more power from a power supply that can't maintain that kind of wattage. And so I had to replace my power supply. Now, I don't know if anyone told that to Doc, but I'm gonna tell you right now, if you're not willing to build your own PC, if you're gonna go with a pre-built, what if you have a power supply that fails? What if you have a part that fails? You're gonna have to do some maintenance on your PC. Some of the most extensive things that you can do to your PC is like replacing your motherboard. That's like the most extensive thing you would have to do. Probably like number 2 or number 3 is changing out your power supply. Why? Because you gotta open up that back plate, you gotta unscrew your power supply from the case. Then you gotta unplug your power supply from these headers, from your GPU, from the motherboard, from the CPU header. You gotta unplug all this stuff, pull it out, get a new power supply, and do the reverse. Put it all connected all back up to all these different parts. If you know how to do that, you should have just built your own PC and not gone with a pre-built to begin with. And it's just, if he was not willing to do that, I can understand why he's like, yo, I'm done. Because I'm not going to do all of that. But that's a part of PC gaming. Whether you gotta build your own PC or not, or whether you got a pre-built, every now and then you gotta do some stuff, man. It's the beauty of it, but it's also the work that you gotta put into it. And people would love that. They love their PC because they built it. They made that. And there's a part of themselves that like, hey, you know, I'm gonna make sure this thing lasts. But when you bought a pre-built, you don't have that attachment to it. The people I know that have bought pre-builts, this is no shade to them, right? But I know like people who have wanted a new GPU. Nothing wrong with the CPU. Nothing wrong with the RAM, nothing wrong with the power supply. Everything else about the PC is great. Great cooling and all that. They just want a new GPU, buy a whole new PC. Unnecessary. All because they don't want to buy just the GPU, take the tempered glass off their case, flip the little switch, unscrew the GPU, pop it out the slot, get the new GPU, pop it in, hear that snap when it's snapped into place, screw it back into place, replug the power supply to it, and enjoy your upgrade in power. People would rather spend 3 times that amount to not do a process that would take them 10 minutes. I'm not judging them. I'm just saying I understand that you're afraid of doing anything like that, and that stuff scares you. You don't want to touch it. I get it. I am going to throw the homie Enrique wanted to double his RAM. And I think this man must have had almost had a kidney stone thinking about how to get that done. But luckily he had Forte, myself, and Logic to kind of, hey, look, it ain't that hard, bruh. This is what you do. It's real easy. You just make sure you get the right RAM, the right timings. Just slot them into those 2 extra slots. You're gonna be good. Make sure you press firmly on both sides, evenly. You hear that snap? You're good to go, man. Let's make a few adjustments to your BIOS to make sure that you're getting the right overclock on your RAM, so that you're getting the best speed possible. It's not that hard, bruh. But it's not for everybody. And I'm not going to be the PC guy that's like, well, why'd you buy this anyway? No, I mean, look, some people don't know what they're getting into until they're there. And even if you think, I don't mind doing a couple changes here and there, but people think they get when they bought a pre-built, or even if they went and pick their parts on a website that does this stuff all day, every day, that that's all I have to do. I'm never gonna have to open this case up and do anything to it, when they should be opening the case up every 3 or 4 months, or just 6 months, to just blow the dust out of it. I mean, you should do that to your consoles too. Pretty sure your PlayStation 5 and Xbox consoles got a significant amount of dust in them. You should just do it for general maintenance, but whatever. I just think that this isn't for everybody. And if anything that I said to you seems as if ain't no way in the world I'm doing that, just understand and be cool with the fact that you're not gonna get the best performance. You're gonna have to deal with some games that you're hyped for only being 30 frames per second. There is no perfect platform where I don't have to do any maintenance or anything. Everything is exactly how it needs to be, even on consoles, you guys gotta do firmware updates too. Even though on consoles, you gotta do updates to your games like everyone else. I don't know why y'all act like that's only on PC, but whatever. You have to do those things. And so even though it's easier to deal with that on consoles, you're gonna have to have the drawbacks. You can't have your cake and eat it too. This PS5 Pro is not going to give you 4080 performance. Don't listen to the cappers on Twitter who will lie to you and tell you that nonsense. They capping because they hating, and they hate PC because PlayStation games are on PC now. Don't listen to them fools. They're leading you astray. You're gonna be mad when you get GTA, you bought GTA 6 and a PS5 Pro together and you still got 30 FPS. Well, bro, you have a console. Enjoy the fact you actually have the game, unlike the people on PC. Man, what you guys talking about? Brian, he says, helps to have some familiarity with computer architecture. Absolutely, absolutely. Jason says newer ATX 3.0 power supplies are better at handling spikes. But yeah, like the power supply features everything, right, Brian? So look, like that's two of the things that annoyed me the most in the PCs I've built probably about 3 PCs, two for myself and one for my son. And the things that, depending at, like, I've had an ATX case, 2 mid ATX cases. The things that annoy me the most, and I don't, like, every now and then I'll go look at like a YouTube video to kind of remember like what I might like, just kind of like make sure I don't forget something. I kind of just roll with it and just do it on my own and just do it off of memory. But I have my own way of like what I do first and stuff, just based off of the things that frustrate me the most. And so I typically, a lot of people would do the power supply last, and I don't necessarily do it last because when I get the motherboard in there, before I put the CPU cooler on, I am putting in the header from the power supply for the upper left corner of the motherboard for the CPU slot, because I got big hands. If I get that especially if it's a air cooler, if I get an air cooler in there, or I got a 360 millimeter AIO I'm putting in, I don't have the space with my hands to get that head, and I'm like frustrated. One of my cases, I actually had to take the corner, undo, like completely loosen the corner of the case so I could get my hands in there and connect that. And so I just do what I do because it's better for me. But like, it's some of the stuff takes time. And some parts of building a PC is quicker, and some parts aren't. And if you have to, like, this is why I always make sure that when I build one, I'm getting a power supply that's more than what I need. So if I do any upgrades or expansions, I don't need to change out my power supply now with the GPU. I learned my lesson. I also make sure I get a CPU that's more than what I need, because if I gotta change my CPU, then I'm more than likely gotta change my motherboard. And at that point, if I'm changing out a motherboard, I'm literally taking everything out of the case. At that point, I might as well just build a whole new PC. I'm just not doing all that and putting it all back in the same damn case with the same damn parts. I'm just not. So Rodman says, you got big hands, cap. I am 6'4", sir. I got big hands, Rodman. Like, it's difficult trying to squeeze like your hands into a small space and then flip the cable from the power supply around and then fit it into a header without bending pins or something that's going to mess up your motherboard. I actually bent one of my pins on my current motherboard for my headers, and I was able to kind of like move it back into place. I didn't break it or anything because I've been pissed. But like you gotta, once you build a couple of PCs for a while, you just know what works for you. And if you watch enough YouTube videos of people building them, you'll notice not everyone does it exactly the same. And it's all about what people find comfortable. But like, if any of that stuff is for you, it's just like, I don't want anything to do with that. Sure, you can have someone else build it for you, but just understand that like it could be 2 or 3 years down the road, you're looking at your GPU like, bro, you are not cutting it. You're not cutting it, GPU. I'm trying to play this game and I just ain't got enough VRAM. Well, maybe it's time to buy a new GPU. Huh? Buy a new GPU, put that bad boy in there yourself. It's not that bad. It's not that bad at all. Okay. What are we doing? Or hold up, I didn't read the rest of what you guys had to say. Gregor says, I clean my PC every week because I have 3 dogs. Oh yeah, yeah, dog hair. Oh yeah, that'd definitely be necessary. Taz says, dudes can't even install a SSD in their PlayStation. They are definitely not doing all that. True, exactly. And I just like, the reason why I said it is that I kind of, you know, again, no shade to Doc, right? Doc Dark, he didn't know that potentially, maybe he still doesn't know that that's what's wrong with his GPU and not his GPU, but his PC, and he could get that fixed and still enjoy PC gaming while, you know, just by upgrading his PSU, but he may not want to do all that. And I don't think he does. Because he got a pre-built instead of building his own PC. If he built his own PC, I would have been like, you know, I would have jumped in his DM and be like, hey, you know, look, you know, that's what I think your problem is. You should go ahead and upgrade your power supply to at least an 850 watt. Make sure it's gold, at least gold rated, and see what happens. See if that works for you. And Taz says COD when? When are you available, Taz? Cause I might be playing some COD real soon. Let's see here. Aramis says the difference in the update system on console. The updates come before you play the game. And on PC, your game will literally crash to let you know you need to update the game or PC firmware. Not necessarily. If your firmware is like severely out of date, it probably won't even run. Like, and then you'll get a message. For example, I remember when Forza Horizon 5 came out and a few other games, I was running firmware that was like really old, and I got a message saying we're not running the game because you need to have at least NVIDIA GPU driver version, blah 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 blah. And so I just went and upgraded it. So it's not that bad. You could also set you can install like stuff. I know AMD does this, as well as NVIDIA with the NVIDIA app or GeForce Experience. You can just set it to auto update. I mean, I wouldn't recommend it, but you could just have it set to auto update. So as soon as you turn your PC on, it's going to update your firmware. And so you'll never have to worry about it. There are people out here that will use software and then they'll also go into Steam big picture mode and just basically turn their PC into a console, what they think looks like a console, where they basically just runs like a console. And that's the freedom of PC gaming, is that you can really kind of just do whatever you want with it, and whatever preferences that you have, you can be able to do that and get it done. What am I doing? Wait, I was going to change the gameplay. Maybe I should change this to some Elden Ring. I don't know. These things aren't labeled though. Oh yeah, no, this is me and Luca fighting Millennia. I think I died in like the worst way in this fight. But anyway. Elden Ring co-op is fun. I still say recommend beat the game by yourself first, and then after that just start, co-oping and just messing around with different builds and see what's up. But no, Yobi says, I'll be opening up my Series X soon. The dust buildup has it running hard like an old PC. Hey, yeah, definitely get that done, man. Definitely do that. Slycrow says, I upgraded to a new SSD from Amazon and reinstalled Windows and everything is snappy. That's another thing that, people will do, that they get a pre-built and they don't think about, is that Windows is like Windows sucks. You just keep it above. We all know it. Windows sucks, and so I actually recommend once a year just reinstall Windows, a fresh Windows. You know, make sure you keep all your files. You have a backup. You put all your with me, I have multiple storages. So a lot of like my YouTube stuff is on the completely separate storage from my Windows drive. My games are installed on a different drive, so I can just basically just take everything that's important, put it in on my backup, and then just reinstall Windows fresh and just put everything back on. It's a process that takes one day, but that kind of keeps Windows from having those issues where it's just like really random dumb crap happens for no reason, and there's just really no rhyme or reason to explain it. And yeah, it's not a bad process. Brian E says, Jason says, I don't mess with AIOs, too paranoid about leaks. I was like that too, Jason. I was all air coolers until I got with Deep Cools. I have Deep Cool, I think, makes the best AIOs. This one I've had for about a year now, 0 leaks. I think leaks are kind of a thing of the past for AIOs, unless you have like a custom loop thing that you did. And if you got a leak, it's more likely something that you did that caused the leak. So I don't think that if you just bought a AIO for your CPU, I don't think you're gonna have any leak issues. I think you'd be pretty set. I actually want to get this new one that Deep Cool has come out with, but I'm waiting for the RGB version of it later this year. But I'm gonna get that and I'm gonna install that. And then the current one I got in my PC, I'm gonna give to my son because he's still on. He's on the what's it called? The Assassin air cooler. It looks real dope, but it's air cooler, so you know it only can go so far as cooling for really heavy duty workloads. So what about open world you enjoyed more, DD2 or Elden Ring? I'm gonna say Elden Ring because I liked randomly being attacked by like bosses and stuff in the open world and that kind of thing. I don't particularly care for the Dragon's Dogma 2 open world. It's just way too many enemies all at once, and it's like you're just trying to get somewhere, bruh, and it's just like it's just like every 5 seconds I'm fighting somebody, and it's not even like an interesting fight. I'm just bodying everybody. It wasn't hitting, man. So, Brian, fun fact about this fight, I found out later that Millennium was blinded by the Scarlet Rot. She attacked you based on sound you make while running across the water. Really? I mean, I knew she's blind, but I wonder if you put on, you know, there's like this, there is this talisman where you can take all like movement away. I wonder if you did that, would she just be standing there? Cause she don't know where you coming from because she's blind and she can't hear you. You know, I'm pretty sure if that was the case, there have been a YouTube out there that would have already, like, you know, said, hey, this is how you beat Millennia super easy. You just silence all footsteps and just slap her around, you know. Robin says, I am so hurt. My Elden Ring save got deleted. I had lost over 400 hours of gameplay and had to start over just to get back to the DLC. Man! Wow. That happened on consoles, Erodimus? Wow, you know, I thought only that kind of stuff happened on PC. From what I heard. Not that I'm laughing. That sucks. 400 hours is ridiculous. I have like maybe 700 some hours in Elden Ring. If I lost all of my characters, all my game saves, I'd be pretty high. Although I am kind of right now, so I played it primarily on PlayStation because, you know, people like Luca was playing on PlayStation and stuff. I do have a PC version of the game, and I'm like maybe about halfway through it, maybe a little bit more than halfway. I'm at the part where you need to go to the snow area with the giants to burn the kindling or whatever, so you can burn the tree. So I'm at that part, but that's it. He said Jason says air coolers are better than ever though. Pretty comparable to AIOs, and if your CPU is AMD, then air coolers are enough. I mean, that's true about AMD, but I mean, if I haven't seen a comparison video in a while of air versus AIO, but AIO was body and air the last time I looked at one, which was like a year ago. Also, I'm not just, this is a pure aesthetics thing now, because I used to be all AIO, but now I'm like, just the way it looks, like it used to be taking up like 30% of the size of my case, especially the ones that are really good, like the heck was that? What's the name of the company? I can't even think of like coolers right now, but the one they used to have the ugly colors with the brown and beige, but like they were like the best air coolers before everyone started to get caught up with them. But like the really good ones are like humongous, and then like part of the reason, again, big hands and trying to do things, you know, like you gotta put that cooler on last, because it's like, you know, if you got the cooler on, sometimes if I wanted to like make some changes or something, or when I had to change my power supply out, I had to take my air cooler off because it was just too in the way. It was too damn big. I'm trying to, you know, connect this connector, and I just can't because this freaking air cooler is in the way. It says you have 700 hours, and what level are you again in Elden Ring? I have 700 hours. I have a character that is 260 something. I have another character that is 230 something. I have another character that's like 215, and another one that's 200. So I got 4 different characters, and one is I do nothing but strength builds on one. I do nothing but strength builds on another. Though the gameplay is from my dexterity character here, and I do another one that's nothing but faith build, and then another one, my 4th one, is nothing but intelligence builds. And so the reason why I did them all like that is that like I beat the game with my strength character, or beat the DLC again, and then like I go like, well, let me see if I can do the same thing and have the same success with like a dexterity build, the faith build, and intelligence build. We start getting into like the mage build. I actually find people will say that they think that like magic is easier in FromSoft games, and I get that. They're not easier for me. They're not easier for me. I find using strength builds and dexterity builds easier than using the magic stuff. And so I beat Radon. I beat the final boss of the DLC on my strength character and my dexterity character. I have not done so on my faith and intelligence characters yet. I'm actually getting my ass kicked with these bosses using those builds. So it is what it is. Ramen says you can have one character that can do everything. Yeah, but then that's just not as and then you gotta keep using larval tiers, and then you gotta find a larval tier in every time. And then for me, like some of the weapons I got my other characters using are weapons that I've gotten from some of my other characters. And so I just like have my buddy Luca just join my game. I give her the weapon, or the talisman, so I don't have to go grind or you do it. And then I go get my other character, and then she gives it to my other character. You know, so this kind of thing that you would see in Borderlands, where you would have a stash that you could use among all your different characters. Whereas, this is just doing it through co-op. So that's what it's I found easier for me. Brian says, I like magic, but I intentionally make my vigor weaker, so I need to work my evasion better. Shoot. I got my vigor at 60 to 65 for all my characters. I am not doing that. Gregor says, the people that say magic is easier will use a big sword for massive damage or a shield and armor that lets them tank hits. So I don't understand why they talk about what. Yeah. They're like, it's so easy, but it's like they're using like a magic infused shield that is impervious to holy damage or some crap like that, right? I mean, there's some broken builds out there, like the one with the perfumer thing, the perfume bottles, where people were using that on Radon and he's just dying, and they're getting into second phase in like 0.2 seconds. Yeah, I get nerfing that stuff. For me, it's just like, I saw that build and I was like, look, if I was one of those people that was like fighting Radon for like days and had died in hundreds of times, I may be at the point where I'm doing that. Fuck what you heard. I'm sick of this shit. But like when I was fighting Radon, I would fight him like a dozen times, and if I ain't beat him, I would just like, all right, I'm gonna go do something else. I'll fight some other boss. There's more stuff to do here, and I'm not gonna sit here and just bang my head against the wall. And then I'll come back and fight him later. Maybe I'll be dodging better. Maybe I got my timing down a little better. Maybe I'm in a better headspace. And sometimes that worked, and I just didn't have to change my build. Another time, I don't mind changing my build. I mean, I always change my build to have still like from the same focus that I would have for a character. So with this dexterity character, if I change my build, I'm changing it to another dexterity build. I'm not going from like dexterity to faith or dexterity to arcane. Well, arcane kind of works with bleed, so a lot of people use both that and arcane. But like, I'm not going from dexterity to intelligence, where I gotta go, get a larval tier, go to Ranala, and then I gotta go completely change everything. I'm not doing any of that. I would just like, look at different builds people are using, and then like, all right, okay, maybe I can use some of that, and then look at some of the different talismans to see how things will work. The backhand blades from the DLC is like my favorite weapon at this point. I freaking love that weapon. It's so good. I think this is the one where we finally got Millennia. Well, which is another thing I think is cool, and people would say, oh, well, like these people who don't know what they're talking about. They were like, oh, you co-op in a FromSoft game. I'm like, I already beat the game. I'm doing it for fun. That's one. Two, co-oping is not easier. Like, it's not easy as people think it is. Because FromSoft buff the damage and the health of the enemy, the boss that you're fighting. So it's like they buff it, and so you really don't have like, and this is on New Game Plus now that I think about it, because I had already beat Millennia with that character before, but I went on New Game Plus and I didn't do any of that stuff. So I said, hey, look, I'm gonna fight Millennia with like weapons from the DLC. So that's what we did. But me and Luca tried to help Ramon fight Moog, okay, so he could be ready for the DLC. We were a bit rusty ourselves because we hadn't played Elden Ring in a minute, but Moog was one shot killing Ramon. One shot kills. One of us dropped. Luca helped Ramon beat him with one try, just with one person no longer there. Like it's like that.
Bryony says, I hear New Game Plus is particularly bad, like everyone. Yeah, yo, the people who are doing those are the gods in this game. Like the people who can beat the DLC on New Game Plus 7, just random soldiers can one-shot kill you. Just random dudes. So forget the boss. The boss definitely, you get hit by a boss, it's definitely a wrap for you. I think we fought Rodon. I had the something that I always do. And part of the reason why I think all my characters levels are so high, if I'm about to go fight a boss, I don't like to go fight a boss with a bunch of runes on me. So I go rune farming up to the point where I can upgrade, and then I now I just added a new level, a new point somewhere, and then I don't have all these runes on me, and I'm not getting annoyed with the fact that like I gotta go pick up some runes in the middle of a fight. So I don't know how this turned into me talking about Elden Ring. I think we about to get. No, I think, did we beat him the first time? We may have beat him let me go. I think we may have actually just beat him off the first try. But yeah. He says, where have we gone in the gaming community where in the 80s and 90s we were looking for every opportunity to find a loophole to beat the game today? People are shaming you for doing it. It's certain communities that do that around them. It's because like in a looter shooter community, like everyone is celebrating the fact that Nexon did not nerf their basically their loot cave version of the loot cave. Instead they say they're looking at ways to buff the other areas, other regions in their world, so that like we're already in second phase. The other regions in the world, in order to make all the areas that valuable for loot farming. And I think more developers of looters should be doing things like that, because it's just like not everybody got the time to be out here, for hours trying to grind to get a particular piece of whatever that they need, or a particular drop. I thought that's awesome. And in looters, people are always looking for loopholes and the way things that make the game easier. I think it's just in certain communities like the FromSoft fans, who are at times extremely insufferable, and their whole get good mentality. Like it's just like they always move the goalposts. Don't use magic. Don't use summons. Don't use your mimic tier. Don't use the more popular weapons. Don't use magic. Don't put armor on. Basically fight Radon butt ass naked with a butter knife. And if you can't beat him like that, you're a bum. It's just like, dude, where's your gameplay? Show me your gameplay of you playing the game like that. Everybody that talks that energy ain't never got anything to show. They are bums, yo. They always talk that talk and they don't never back it up at all. They are full of they're full of it. So, yeah. 4,088 runes. What do you have on you? No, that's 14,000 runes, but that's nothing. Around, it's 14,000 runes is nothing. But yeah, Badon is dead once again. Borderlands PC players that just download saves instead of farming themselves should be ashamed. Yeah. The what do they call it in Borderlands? I forgot what they call it. Where I know they used to do it a lot with Borderlands 2, where you would duping. But there's no duping. I don't really see a problem with duping, because the drop rates were abysmal in Borderlands 2. So in Borderlands 2, you would if I got the B shield or the conference call shotgun, which was so hard to get, I would go to particular areas where my friends are, and then I would drop it down, and then I would just, in my game, I would go back to the main menu on Xbox 360, and then I would just end the game. And so therefore, the game never got a chance to update me without that weapon, and I would come back, and then I've duped that weapon. My boy got it, and I got it. That's fine. The dudes who would then take they would put their game save on a USB, connect it to a computer, or just do it all on the computer. They were on PC anyway, because it wasn't just PC dudes that was doing that. It was console guys doing it too. I knew guys who were doing it. And then they would basically just modify, because they would have programs, they freaking programs, where they would just like, you could basically just make your own weapons and put any kind of affinity you wanted on it, you know, level, all that good stuff, and then have your OP characters just run around, just destroying everything in Borderlands. I get that. I get shaming those people though. You know what? I was gonna play something. I was supposed to play something. I think I was supposed to play The First Descendant. So let's go do that. Where is... Oh, so it's all set. Well, it hasn't loaded the screen yet. I think I might drop it down because I don't want to. It might be a bit too much to be doing on just my PC alone. I think I might drop it down to 1440p. Yeah, let's do that. Turn up. I say don't show. Oh, it don't show again today, and it just keeps coming back. All right. Where was I? There is a display. And let's make this 1440p, so I'm not dealing with streaming issues. Slycrow says, I don't get how this game popped off and Outriders didn't. Slycrow, let me show you why this game popped off and Outriders didn't, okay? I'm gonna show you right now. You ready? You ready? You ready to see it? You ready to see it? This is why the game popped off and Outriders didn't. Did you see any of this in Outriders? Let me help you get a better look, okay? You see any of that in Outriders? Fan service, yes, Brian. This is why the game popped off. And if Bunny is not your speed, then sure. Hey, look, we got a collection. There's Freyna, you know.
Do as I say. If you.
What do you get when you?
There's
mix
Valby,
and...
Bessia. I mean, can I just keep going down the list here? Like, no one care about the dudes. Ultimate Bunny. This is the one I'm talking about, where people spent $100 to have the skin. $100 freaking dollars, bro. This is why it popped off, man. Guaranteed before I end this stream, I'm gonna see somebody with this bunny skin. All right, What am I supposed to be doing? I haven't even beat the game yet. I have been so busy playing so many different things. And defeat Swamp Walker. Oh, yeah, that part. I think I fought him once and was like, you know what? No. So I think his weakness is 2 lightning. So Bunny's the best one for that. But let's. I don't have. Wait a minute, hold on. What level is he? 70 something? Or is it 80?
Preparations.
80 freaking 2. I do not have. There is a 80. You know what? Let me raise my guns, my Thunder Cage's level up. I only do this like every 10 levels because I don't want to like just it's a waste if you're doing it more than that. So I hope the Vindictus pops off for similar reasons. Well, it's part of the reason, right? So Vindictus, I think the 5 Fate, that's the one you're talking about with the girl. I know exactly what you're talking about, Slycrow. They definitely knew what they were doing when they designed her. That said, I think it's a decent playing, kinda like it's not necessarily Souls-like, but it's got some of those elements to it. I just think that it's a bit it feels a bit undercooked, which of course it was a like a alpha or a beta or whatever, so of course it's a bit undercooked. I might need to just do this private, honestly, but we'll see what happens. Big Mike says we're going to spend $100 for that bunny skin. See, you see, Crow, this is why the game is popping off. I have not had lunch and I'm freaking starving. This won't last long. I'm definitely about to get off soon because I need to eat and I got conference calls in like an hour. And I got things I need to take care of before I do those conference calls. Are we gonna finish this? I don't know. Like, are you one of you guys OP? Because I'm not. Let's see what happens. Alright, what up? Gotta change my that's not it. Oh crap. Cool. Change the profile of my controller so I can get my dodge roll on my back button. Oh god. Jesus. Oh my.
I'm gonna short out at this rate.
I didn't even check. You know what? I'm doing what I've been complaining about other people doing, which is not knowing what the weak spots are. Because I didn't even check what the weak spots were. And I also did not, I don't think I got like electric, I mean, the Thunder Cage already does electric, but I didn't add a module for it exactly. You know, I think we're doing pretty good damage though. Hold up. I do hate that like Bunny's like best electric ability is crap. Hold up. Her being close to enemies, and it's like this dude fights like with he stays in the damn lava the whole time.
Reload.
when I do this to you, sir. Oh crap, we gotta knock his little sticks off. Let's go. Okay, hold on. Stick over here. Is there one? There must be one back. Oh my god, this guy. Can't. I think he's hitting me. Pause. Making pretty good time. 7 minutes left. Oh. Get back. You know what? Oh, you know what? I don't have my bunny ability. That wasn't a perfect time to use it. And when I do have it, he is all the way over there. Oh my god. That was probably not the smartest idea. Let me just crawl over to Ajax. Pick me up, bro.
Stay where you
I mean, don't. Kind of taking your time, but you know.
take this.
I don't think anyone's gonna get me. You're just gonna let me die, huh? Okay. Gregor says, seeing a bunny not running is gross. You know what else is gross, Gregor? Not winning. Very gross. Right, where is this? Dang. Dude's got like no health left and he just pulls his crap like right near me. Where is it? Where is it? It's gotta be on the other side. I don't have the health to go over there. Damn it. Somebody kill this dude already, please. Thank you. Pick me up, please.
The recent intercept battle provided an opportunity for me to survey the
Alright.
area around the
Good job,
Colossus'
Sam.
target destination from within the void dimension. They were headed towards some snowy fields, and the area was emitting a large amount of inverted energy.
Guy, the location I just sent you, that's where we think the Vulgus Fortress is. If you found any features or
Hey,
have
this
any
story,
intel,
so
send us
what's
the
your
details.
defense? I think it's pretty low. What would it we have? Ultimate Vesia or yeah. I want Jaber so bad. I mean, look, that don't sound right, but oh, not Greg's first. Yeah, I need to work on my mods. I know that like the way my setup is right now is not ideal. Let me see. I'll show you in a second. I need to start building up. See, like my increased health and increased defense. I haven't really put dedicate too much to those. I need to do that. I need to get another module so I can actually increase my capacity. What do they call it? This energy activator crap. So yeah, all this stuff is Warframe. This is literally how Warframe, you build up your characters in Warframe. It's the same thing. So I gotta work on it. I haven't really put a lot of time in, unfortunately. Which is also the reason why some of the I haven't done any build videos or anything like that for the first Descendant, because I'm not gonna do a build video when I haven't set up any builds yet. I'm just trying to. I need to get the end game. Hit level 100 on my gear and weapons, and then I can start, doing some theory crafting and finding the best ways to set up your characters and stuff. Do some loot farming, get all the good loot, and then I can start playing around with that kind of stuff. But I'm not in game yet, so I'm not really building towards anything at the moment. So
the only drawback is that it will also destroy everything around it. But we can use this to our
yeah, you got a Transcendent mod for Bunny. When did you get your Transcendent mod? Because I've gotten a few Transcendent mods, but
if you cannot retrieve the Ironheart from the
they aren't for any Descendants I already have right now. I'm not even paying attention to the story because the story's so trash.
It will be a difficult decision, but everyone will need to be in agreement.
Alpha, these are the details of the operation that the guide has laid out. What do you think?
Bunny like everyone else. I got Ajax, and I got Valby.
Not like we have any other option. Let's at least
a
assemble
short while
everyone
ago,
to discuss
and
this.
so I need to go over to one of the leveling up missions to get her to 40, but I'm not. It's not it's not like a big and important
Just
thing to do
get
right
to the
now.
point. First of all, the guide's operational plan provides
This guy's
many
like the
tactical
worst
advantages.
freaking
The
leader
majority
ever in
of the
a video
Vulgus
game.
forces have already been dispatched to the White Knight Gulch, and Corell isn't aware of what happened in Haggett's.
So you might want to start
thanks
making
to
a
the
decent build
long-range
before the
jamming
last zone
signals
because the
established
final
by
mission is
Jaber.
long and annoying. Really?
If this situation continues, we will be able to lay siege to the fortress, and Corell will be none the wiser.
I might just do that.
There has never been a more ideal
level,
moment to attack the Vulgus fortress since the beginning of
weapons
this
and gear
war.
people
and
doing
the
at
chance may
last
never
level?
come
Are they
again.
close to 100? Because if
However,
it's close to
if
100,
our
I'll
goal is not
start
just
doing
to
it.
attack, but to
that's
destroy
close
an
enough
Ironheart. This
to
will not
max
be enough.
level to start
If we pull back our
putting a
forces
build
from the
together.
White Knight Gulch and behave as if we have another strategy in mind, that should attract Corell's attention.
What is he talking
We
about?
need a foolproof
I
way
just
to
can't get
lure
over the
them
fact
in,
that
much like how
when
Corell
that one
ensnared us with the
character
White Knight
betrays
Gulch
everyone,
operation.
this dude decided to take
In
a
other
day
words,
off. He was so
this is a
upset.
plan that
He
requires
took a
someone
day
willing
off.
to
I'm like,
face
how are you
death
the leader and
to act
you
as
just
bait,
you gotta take
all while protecting the Ironheart
PTO
and
day
distracting Corell.
when
I
things get
realize
tough.
I am asking for
This
someone to
dude be
sacrifice
just getting
themselves.
emotional for like the smallest
Commander,
things. I'm like, who wrote this
Bring
character?
myself to give such a merciless order.
What if someone volunteers?
Look, he can't make orders that people need to make. I'm like, why is he the leader?
Supplies?
Alpha, the Descendants can act as bait. If we deploy an unprecedented number of Descendants to the front, that will be more than enough to distract Corell.
Last night, but I mean, like,
Corell's also aware that the Descendants are humanity's last hope, so he's going to relish trying to squash our last stand.
All right.
I guess,
You win.
yeah, I guess.
Carry
I just
out the
can't.
operation. Let's get this done and destroy the Ironheart. On one condition. You must all return safely. And tell the guide to look after the Descendants.
Understood.
Yeah, like
wish
so the
everyone
guy,
good
like the
luck
guy
with the
wasn't
White
gonna
Knight
look
Gulch
after the
front.
Descendants. Look,
Don't
I
worry,
told y'all
this is great.
we will find somebody
always wanted
here
to have a go
who
at Corell.
has the $100 skin
line,
for
kid.
Bunny. Look,
There is a line, you know.
$100.
I'd like to cut in front of
I don't
you
even
as
know
well.
how much that heart costs right there.
please
But
take
like,
care of
definitely
yourself.
$100
Remember our promise.
for the script
There's no
outfit.
way I'll forget. Don't worry. We'll win.
I told you at
If
least
all
one.
modules were the same, I'd be out of
At
a job,
least
right?
one. So yeah, see, I'm 58. So what I could do, right, is wait, because I don't need electric. I should have took. I should even went into the fight with this on. Honestly, see, this is what I'm saying. Like, not paying attention. Cause fighting that guy, I think that guy, what was he strong in? Toxic. I should have had toxic antibody on. So there's that. I could just go keep that off, and then
you're here for modules, right?
Let's increase this. Right. Well, damn, I was playing on Suicide Run, but I guess we need a new plane. Yep. Wait. Can I go one more? Is it? I can go one more. There we go. That's fine. What is, I guess I gotta talk to the guide up there or some crap like that. Yeah, talk to guide. Hold on, let me put my frame rate counter up. It's wild. I'm getting 140 frames per second. I know I'm normally playing this game at 4K with DLSS quality on, so I'm getting like anywhere between like 80 to 100 frames per second.
It seems everyone has steeled their resolve. Everyone's arche is glowing. I doubt that even the ancestors anticipated this moment. I'm so
they
happy
need to
to
steal
have
from
met
Warframe
humans
again
with
and
arche
simplify
like
things.
yours.
The skill damage
Despite my
modifier
limitations
stuff
as
is
an
done.
AI,
I
believe
think
understand what courage is now.
I think the
Alright.
one thing they definitely need to take from
Descendant,
Warframe
I'll
is
accompany you to the Vulgus
the used
We
not
must
the used
locate
market,
the
but like the
inversion
Warframe
facility
market.
there and overload
Because
the Iron
some of
Hearts
the
to destroy
grinding
it.
that you have to do,
I
like
know
I
we
get
can do
that,
this,
like
Descendant.
it's cool that you can
I will
grind
be
for
with
stuff
you
and
the
you get other
entire
things
way.
that you need for other things while you're grinding for that one thing, which is fine. But I think they could, like, this game is already more popular than Warframe ever was. And I think that, like, what only kind of sort of worked for Warframe will work really great for First Descendant. For example, so like, let me go find it, right? So let me go over to that one lady, Anais, real quick. Because like in Warframe Market, if you were trying to put a Warframe together, but you were missing a specific part to build the Warframe, and you didn't have the relic to crack in a mission to get it done, you could go to the Warframe Market and just get it from someone.
Go on, I'm
and
waiting.
you would trade the other person with like platinum, which is like the caliber that you get in this game, which is you can only get through actually spending money. Now, for example, I'm trying to create Vessia, right? And I got her code and I got her enhanced cells. All I need is the Vessia stabilizer blueprint to make her stabilizer. And all I need is like, I need to do like getting the superfluid I need, and the artificial biometal is going to be super easy. It's basically just going to wherever these areas are. For example, right here, this is super easy. Go to Agna Desert and just basically just kill monsters, and I'm gonna get that. But this spiral blueprint, like, I gotta farm basically swamp walker in order to get that. So, which is fine, but like you'd be fighting a dude and getting a bunch of other stuff that you want, but not really getting what you need. So like in Warframe,
you could just go to the market and put in a search for this, and other people who have been farming and got something, like let's say they bought Vessia, but then they got this, they don't need this. Like I got stuff, what is it, I got Freyna. Look, I got Freyna's code and enhanced sales that I don't need. If they had a market, I could sell those, get caliber for it, and then use that to spend money on other things. Now, I know next time I'll be like, well, instead of that, they just want you to just buy these descendants and stuff like that. But you can't just buy that. And maybe like if I put the price of the enhanced sales at like 50 caliber, someone doesn't mind spending the money on 50 caliber to get that, but they do mind spending 300 caliber to get the whole character. You know, it's just, these are the kind of things. I was gonna make a video on it, but I've been so busy. Maybe I'll drop it this week. But like, if you're gonna copy Warframe's design, like that's it. You should be copying that, because you're gonna get people who aren't spending money in this game to spend money in this game just to engage in getting things that they want to put together. Like they don't mind spending 50 here, 100 there, 50 here, 100 there. Eventually they'll spend up more money than when the sticker price is 300. Look at some of the prices that's on this stuff. Like you look at like, not even look at the ultimate, because the ultimate stuff is ridiculous pricing. But like, you know, Warframe does it too, so I'm not really tripping off of that. But like 900 for Kyler. How much is 900 caliber? 900 caliber is that's $20. Cause you have this huge gap between 520 and 1060. You want Kyle and you're gonna buy Kyle. You can't do that with this. You gotta go here. That's $20 to get who I think, I mean, I don't know, I barely use them in the beta, a bum ass descendant. So it's just like, it ain't worth it, yo. I don't think that's, but then someone who wants Kyle could have like 3 of the 4 parts they need. All they need is 1 part and it won't drop. They are more likely to spend like 100 caliber. They're more likely to go in here, get $255 caliber in order to get that 1 part to build. So like, so you may not get this dude to spend $20, but you can get him to spend $5. It's just like, you gotta understand how that works. And I hope they seem very, you know, despite their reputation, Nexon seems very, very open to listening to the community, open to thinking about, like, really taking into account what the community has to say about certain things, and implementing stuff that makes sense. And then when the community's like, yo, don't nerf the loot cave, they're like, no, we're not going to nerf the loot cave. Go ahead and keep doing that. Instead, we're going to try to find ways to adjust the drop rates in other areas so that, like, things, you don't feel like you need to go do this loot cave all the time. That's the kind of mentality they need to have. So they should at least let us convert items into materials. Yeah, I agree with that too. I do like the little system, like, so like if you get, because I've did this multiple times with these weapons, you see like this one's got that that little bar, and this one too. I've gotten additional thunder gauge and additional devotion, and I have used it to make the power special ability on those a bit stronger. So yeah, man, I'm gonna get up out of here though, because it's like, it's 2:20. I'm starving and I got work to do, but I appreciate everybody for coming through. And I'm probably gonna do, if I do stream First Descent, it's probably gonna be on the SloMo Backslap channel. But I think this is not bad for lunchtime with SloMo on DPS. Maybe this will continue.
It says, bro, you haven't changed the base stats on the weapons. They're still at level 1.
The base stat. What are you talking about? The crit rate stuff. What is it? Unique ability? Reroll. Oh, this. Oh, the weapon readjustment. No, yeah, I haven't done this. So, yeah, is this like something to keep? So unlock it. Oh. Keep that though. Okay, I'll play around with that later. Okay. All right. I'm getting out of here. The more you lock, the more it costs. If I don't lock it, I mean, does it go higher every time you re-roll? Let me go look at it again. Let me see, I don't really fire attack. Yeah, I don't really care. Ooh. Yeah, I've been making those just off of GP. It's RNG, but everything is better than level 1 stats you had. Man.
Humanity.
I wasn't gonna look at any of that stuff until I got to end game, but I guess it's about time I started to pay attention to it more. Where is that thing? Here it is. And I don't really care for I haven't built the Python yet, but I already have the synthetic fiber blueprint, so I'm not building that again. And I already have restored relic. Where is, yeah, that one. Oh, so just get them out the way. I usually try like every time I come here to like make like 2 or 3 more of those, so that when I come back, they're just stacked up waiting to get done. All right, let me get going. All right, thanks, Gregor. I will. Oh crap! What just happened? And it doesn't matter. All right, I'm getting out of here. You guys have a good one. I will be back. I might stream something tomorrow. We will see what happens. But peace out, y'all.